Good evening, everybody. This is going to be kind of a somber message. But, so this is actually part 3 of my dilemma with my son dealing with mental illness. As a mental health professional, mental health therapist, and a doctor of psychology candidate, I am at the end of my rope trying to deal with my son, being psychotic with these psychotic episodes, his refusal to, cooperate with his medication regimen. Of course, he wants to continue to use illicit drugs, methamphetamine, which exacerbates his symptoms, alcohol, weed, all of those things. That's what he wants to do. And so we made an arrangement for him to, go to treatment. Made an arrangement for him to go to treatment. So which he agreed to, which he is now trying to back out on, which is typical addict behavior, which is also frustrating. So I had one of the most terrifying experiences yet again last night, only because I was torn. My son was psychotic again. He had smoked meth, and before he got to my house, a couple days prior, he had not been to sleep. And so I didn't know, that he was psychotic. I didn't know he was under the influence of meth. He just seemed a little agitated. So on the way to the house, he asked if he could get a Black and Mild or a shooter or whatever. And I don't really allow him to drink alcohol, but I'm taking responsibility for giving him $2 so he can get, a shooter. But he got 2 little ones, little bottles or whatever, because he said that would, relax him and calm him down. Now, typically alcohol does make you relaxed or whatever, after the euphoric feeling is over with or whatever. But as I observed him, throughout the day, throughout the evening, he just got progressively worse. And so at that point I realized, he's not lucid, he's catatonic at this point. He wasn't making any sense. And I'm like, okay, where's your medication? He said it was in one of his bags, but he never took it. So fast forward to, okay, it's like 11 o'clock at night now, and he's escalated. So I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the hospital. You need to get a mood stabilizer. You need some help. And that was always a fight. Of course, there was a fight getting him out of the apartment, because he was paranoid. He was patting on his pockets and, looking around, and he smokes, and, nobody smokes in my house. So they go outside on the porch, and he wouldn't go out on the porch all the way. He would just step out and blow the smoke out, and he was looking around, paranoid, completely having a psychotic break. Okay. So when I realized that I couldn't get him to my car voluntarily, I had no choice. This was the terrifying decision that I had to make. Calling 911 is always terrifying for a Black person, especially a Black man. I asked for the medical response team, mental health professionals who accompany police officers along with the paramedics, because I was trying to get him stabilized. I was trying to get him to the hospital. So the 2 police officers showed up first. And I was like, and once he saw the police officers, he just escalated, immediately. Because he has quite an extensive history with the police and jail and prison and stuff like that. So he just escalated. He got all paranoid. He thought he was going to jail. He wasn't in any trouble or anything. And then they seemed like they sent every damn fireman, every paramedic, okay, which made him escalate even further. So that took some time to calm him down. He was just very agitated and afraid, and but he was getting really upset. So I had to make everybody just fall back, because y'all are, he wouldn't let anybody touch him. He wouldn't let nobody get vitals or anything. So I had to tell everybody, just go ahead on and leave. I mean, not leave, but fall back some. another, 20 minutes or so to get him out of the house, to try to get him in my car so that he wouldn't let anybody transport him. So the officers were trying to talk to him, but every time they were trying to relay to him that, hey, your mom cares about you, and if you don't go with your mom, we're gonna take you. And oh my God, that was a terrifying part, because we already know if he resists them, I already know what they were gonna do, and I didn't want them to hurt my son. I just didn't. I'm looking exhausted right now because I didn't get any sleep. I didn't get to sleep till about 4:30. But anyway, I managed to get him out of the house, had managed to get him to the car, managed to get him to the hospital, and guess what? He would not go in. And he said he wasn't going in. But I was like, oh yes you are, because you need some help and I need some help. I need some relief. And he did not go in that hospital. I was out there in that parking lot with him at least another 20-25 minutes trying to get him into the hospital, and he wouldn't go. And I just called it for what it was. I'm like, okay, you're just performing. This is manipulation. You understand what I'm saying. You're just performing right now. The police told me that I couldn't just leave him there, because then he would be trespassing and the hospital would just call them to come get him. And we already know how that would turn out, because again, he's unmedicated. He's, high off these damn drugs, and he's uncooperative. So guess what? I had to took all that time just to bring his ass all the way back to my house. Okay? A wasted trip. But not before his ass got cussed out. I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing else. Nothing. Don't you say nothing else. I mean, he was paranoid. He was hallucinating. He was acting really afraid of things. But that's all part of his psychosis. All part of, the mental break, And at that point, the mommy part had to, step in. Shut the fuck up. Don't you say nothing. You out here performing. Get in the car. Shut up. I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say for the rest of the evening. Now, I was trying to be compassionate and empathetic with my son, going through a mental crisis. I understand that. But, my patience got thin. How you going to be compassionate and cussing your son out at the same time? How? I don't give a damn. I just don't. So, at that point, with a wasted trip to the hospital, exhaustion is like after 1 o'clock in the morning now. I've had it. So I'm like, don't you say another word. And he didn't. And the drive home from the hospital was quiet. And when we parked, he went to utter one word and say something to me. I said, don't you say another word. And he didn't for the rest of the night. We went in the house and he took his ass to sleep. And I let him sleep as long as he could, because I'm like, okay, you need to, sleep as long as you can. And then when he woke up, he apologized. So you remember everything that you did. You remember everything that you did. You were out here acting a damn fool, okay? And so I'm like, we got business to handle. We got to make these arrangements. And then he starts to playing dumb again. What arrangements? You already know. So then he said he'd rather be homeless or walk the streets than to go to treatment. I'm like, it's your call. It's on you. But I'm not going through another day, another night with you like this. I promise you. So we made it through that scary time. But I called his parole officer. I just put him on notice that if my son starts the drinking or whatever, or because he's being really defiant and uncooperative right about now. He's trying to negotiate. And I told him, you don't get to negotiate nothing. You're going to go get some treatment. That's it, and that's all. Okay? Now, I left my house, okay, because I needed a break. I'm like, I got to get my thoughts together. Am I going to have to make another tough call? Am I going to need to call the police again? Because if he does not cooperate with me tonight, he's getting out. And if he don't get out, I will call for help. That is one of the scariest things as a black mom that I'm trying to prevent, but it's really on him. You know what I mean? It's really on him. I can't do it. Hell, I got PTSD. I mean, no, seriously, I have PTSD, and he's triggering my PTSD, which means I'm having a lot of anxiety right now, and it's not good. Okay, I'm having a lot of anxiety, so I'm trying to get myself under control. I had to take like a half an anxiety tablet last night when we got home. I didn't get to sleep till about 4:30, and again, so yeah, so yeah, so that's my story. So y'all pray for me, okay? Pray for my son. If you know the words of prayer, share this video in support of me. I don't have any friends right now that I can even go or call, you know what I'm saying? I might have one, but I haven't tried to reach out to her. But the other, I don't have any other friends that I can really talk to about this, in support of me. So yeah, this is like part 3. This is also a public service announcement for anybody experiencing personality disorders who are, refusing to take medication. You have to take your medication because you have to give your family a break, especially your mom who loves you. Yeah, take your medication. Advocate for yourself. Become healthy, please, because at some point, it's on you, but at some point family is going to back out and withdraw their help from you, because all you're doing is, performing anyway. You're being manipulative and you're being completely selfish, which is of course the addict way, right? I get it, I understand that, but enough is enough for me. I'm about to go home and eat something, and I just pray that he don't upset me, because I have no more patience for my son. So yeah, even though I'm a mental health professional, I have my limits too. I'm a person. So please share this video, like, comment on it. This is real stuff, real talk. Please, let's spread the message that these people need some help, and pray that it doesn't come to me calling 911 for my son, because I already know he ain't gonna go willingly. He's not going to go willingly. So that's the terrifying story of a black mom's, saga, journey with her son, who's an addict. He's the middle child, but he's very troubled. But he's bringing most of this on himself. So, and he is in control. He is. He just don't want to quit doing drugs. That's the bottom line. He just don't want to quit. So, but when you're an addict and you need help, you don't get to make the damn rules, okay? Again, this is your girl, Lady J, tired, frustrated, afraid, hopeful. Y'all pray for me, holla at me, I can use some encouragement, please. Spread the message, okay? Y'all have a good one. And I'm out.